Hey everybody, Dishadar here, and look at this. It's getting dark. It's getting dark. Oh no, oh no. Anyway, not being silly now. Um, it's September 7th, 8th. Well, basically, it's now September, and it's getting dark. If, me feeling the air is getting a little chillier. And now's the time where Maven's coming up. For me personally, my day of conversion is coming up. Samhain is coming up, celebration of the Day of the Dead. And now it's like the dark half of the year is upon us. It's my favorite for some reason. The dark half of the year. And I like it because one reason why I really like it is because it's mysterious in a certain sense. It's not for the flair of it, but it's more so the fact that the darker half of the year is when we, as practitioners, whether you're pagan, a witch, or Wiccan, get to really look within ourselves. And we're not experiencing, well, in a way, we're not experiencing things the way that we usually associate in everyday society and mainstream culture as far as loving the summer and the springtime. It's more of an introverted time when we look within ourselves and we look at things in a totally different light, being that the light will be lacking. It's the time, depending on your personal belief, time of the rise of the dark gods. Not even dark as far as evil, but dark as far as, the ones that rule when the light isn't upon us anymore. When the moon's length is longer and the sun is closer to a slumber and thus death. To return again at a different time, but now a new reign coming up for the next 6 or so months. Being a transition of power. And that, just the awe of that, of recognizing that everything isn't all love and light and shining truth, but of darkness and death, and of just radical change in the environment and within ourselves and in our life. It's just something that I really gravitate towards because it's different from the usual. It's its own thing entirely. And with this time is the perfect opportunity for us to make change in our lives. For me specifically, I say that because, like I said, I gravitate towards the darker times. I always have, actually. Been fluctuating slightly over the years, but the trend is towards the darkness in the colder months because it's more of a time where I can think to myself and think internally, and my practices for some reason during the darker months tends to be stronger as a kingfisher. Cool. So yeah, that's just me. But when you think of it, when you think of death and what's about to happen with the leaves falling to the earth, with resources for the animals being scarce and them thus migrating, it lets you see a different way of the world. It helps you understand the cycle of life and death. If you watch a lot of those, like let's say for example, because it's in my head now, it's stuck in my head. The Lion King from Disney, the circle of life, of death, of rebirth. Things aren't as lovely as we may make them out to be, or wish they were. There is suffering in this world, and there are a lot of struggles that we all have to go through, both on a human level and just a pure animal and primal level. And by respecting that and showing reverence for that, and by acknowledging that, and taking those beliefs, taking those practices with us, as much as we like to look at the light and enjoy the warmth, we must also embrace the darkness, and we must also learn the lessons that it has to teach us. Because we do ourselves and we do nature itself. Depending on your practice, I'm not willing to peg it in a certain light. So I just like to say nature in general and divinity without attaching names and pointing fingers. But by doing that, we do it justice by acknowledging that there's more to it. There's more to life. But with me, I have a lot of, because I acknowledge the holidays as far as Maven coming up, my year and day, even though that's more of Wiccanson, so I changed it to Day of Conversion. And then I have Samhain, I celebrate on November 1st, and then from there I have Yule, which is the celebration of the winter solstice. And now it's just that time where I can just be, meditate as, since it finally started raining a whole 2 months straight. Now it's the time where, and just in time, where now I can actually focus on my practices and developing myself more as a pagan and as a practitioner of nature in both its light and dark forms, its good and bad forms, even though good and bad is very subjective, so thus it's a term that I don't like to use. But I just love this time of the year. I can't wait until it starts getting colder. And let's see, doing a time check, it's 6:12. And I'm just sitting out here, me and my little puppy dog, Cereal, and my little puppy dog. We're just sitting out here, just being at the lake as we always are when I'm shooting my videos, since it's a really peaceful spot. And to know that it's gonna start getting really dark really quick. It's only like, what, 7, I want to say. I don't know the time, to be honest. But it's starting to get dark. It's that time of the year where the gods of nature go back into the earth to slumber. When the light befalls and rises up will be darkness and the cold clench of death, which will grasp this section of earth and cause the great dying. But it's not something that we as people need to feel fear about or to dislike. It's something to be embraced, because by acknowledging death, we thus acknowledge life, because you cannot have one without having the other. And with the death of the vegetation, with the migration of the animals, birds and animals alike, well, all animals alike, not just the birds, depending on where you live and the type of wildlife in your area, we acknowledge the promise of life that is soon to come. Even though the darkness is just starting its process, we know that the light will return. And by embracing the dark, and by embracing that which is mysterious and hidden and sometimes feared, we get a different perception of life, and we know that there's a balance within the universe. So, it's one of those really poetic times when you just, one of those poetic times. Cereal, sit down. Oh, great, there's dogs. Anywho. So yeah, I just really like this time of the year, and I wanted to make this video just because I don't usually make videos where I'm just, talking about usually it's a very specific, very exclusive, it's very explicit what I'm talking about, but now it's just doing one where I'm not necessarily rambling, but I'm not necessarily focusing on a practice or belief. It's just something that I don't really do on this channel. So I just wanted to put that out, have you guys see, I suppose in a way, a different side of me, I guess. I don't really know. It may be to you, even though it's not to me, because, as I think and as I live, it's something that's always been a part of me, though it may not be something that you guys are necessarily used to seeing. But anyway, I just wanted to, I just felt like I should say that and post this video, so. This is Shadar here. If you like my videos, want to get daily updates, I'd like for you to subscribe, rate it if you want to, comment, send me a message, inbox me. But, so yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So, I'd like to thank you for watching my video. Hope you have a really good day. Well, good night now, since it's late afternoon, bordering on night, so. I'll see you guys later. And until the next video.